Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto video, we're going to be taking a look at the creepiest Grand Theft Auto characters in the entire series. Some of this stuff might make you cringe how creepy and disturbing it is, so we're going to be covering all the Grand Theft Autos today, from GTA 3 to Grand Theft Auto 5. It's going to be pretty awesome, so with out of the way, let's not waste any more time, and let's get it started. Alright, so at the number 1 spot today, we have Ursula, who is a minor character in Grand Theft Auto 5. So she is actually a random hitchhiker event, but her story is incredibly disturbing. So a little bit of background on Ursula. She is a mentally unstable woman, possibly because she had a very unhappy childhood. According to her comments about her life, her mother tortured her by locking her in a basement and shaving her hair. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, her mother also forced her to dress like a boy. So she had a very troubled past as a child. Obviously, that is horrific what her mother did to her. Now, it states her mother later passed away. We'll touch on this in a little bit. This, along with her upbringing, caused Ursula to grow up mentally ill, making comments about her gardener getting sick and falling off a cliff, and how the last person to pick her up choked to death on his own hand, which implies that she killed them both. Now, on top of that, it states her mother passed away. Ursula lives in the small little cottage near the lighthouse, and right next to that mountain is the Mount Gordo grave that you can see at the top. I think that is Ursula's mom that she killed and buried on top of the mountain. Now, Ursula in-game can be found on the south side of Mount Chiliad, and she's actually a hitchhiker event. So you can take her back to her house, or you can take her to the altruist camp, depending on what you want to do. However, if the protagonist takes her home, she actually becomes a booty call, which is actually kind of interesting. And she'll send you messages like this, so if you are interested in receiving those, then you best take her home rather than taking her to the altruist camp. Now, what's kind of weird is in the aftermath of every booty call with her, the weather will turn rainy. Now, whether this is an oversight by the programs or meant to humorously symbolize that she's mentally unstable is never revealed, but I definitely think that that is pretty interesting. Now, something weird about her personality is, for the first time when you do a booty call with her, before entering the home, she will stand behind the player's vehicle and take a photo of it. Now, it's unclear whether she's taking a photo of the car or the license plate, but sometimes you have to be careful not to back over her. So that's the first creepy character in the GTA series today. That is Ursula. Her background and her story is just beyond bizarre and very, very disturbing. All right, the next character is Eddie Lowe, who's featured in Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, I could probably spend an entire video on Eddie Lowe, as he is one of the creepiest characters we've ever seen and we're ever going to talk about. So Eddie Lowe has most, if not all, stereotypes of a serial killer. He's a male in his 30s, he was abandoned by his father, had a strict mother, and abused by a family member. So a little bit of background on Eddie. He was born in San Fierro, and he writes online that his father would force him to wear girls' clothes and grow his hair out, even sending him to school dressed that way, as well as forcing Eddie to perform sexual acts on him. Now, later, Eddie actually killed him out of spite, and he had a little brother who he apparently placed in the oven. He killed him and hid his body in a pond. In elementary school, he would dig a hole and sit in it, and one of his first murder victims was a red-headed kid who urinated in the hole. Now, if you think that was bad, he accidentally suffocated and killed his mother too, by putting her head under the sand. Now, he states this was an honest mistake, as he claimed he wanted to marry his mother, and Eddie has saved all of her clothes, including underwear, for cross-dressing purposes. So this is incredibly strange. That's the background on Eddie Lowe. Now, Neko actually meets him multiple times throughout the game, and he introduced himself to Neko with some very disturbing comments. Basically, you have 2 encounters with Eddie Lowe, and in the second encounter, he actually tries to pull out a knife and attacks Neko, but obviously, as you know, Neko kills him in self-defense. So this guy tried to murder Neko. I mean, how creepy and crazy is that? And like I said, that was just like the Spark Notes detail on Eddie Lowe. There's a lot more creepy stuff that you guys should totally read into, and I'll leave all the links that I'm using in the comments down below as well. The number 3 spot today, Donald Lowe. So Donald Lowe is a character in Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and Liberty City Story. So he's featured in a lot of different games. Now, Donald Lowe is a real estate developer, and he actually becomes the mayor of Liberty City at one point in time. So I know what you guys are saying right now. Are you sure this isn't Donald Trump?
You are fake news.
And the answer is yes, this isn't Donald Trump, although Donald Lowe is meant to be a satire or parody of Donald Trump Jr. or Donald Trump. It's unclear what one they were trying to go for, but obviously given the name, obviously given their real estate background, and the fact they're both from Liberty City, which is fictional New York City, to me would indicate that that's the case. Now, why is Donald Lowe creepy? Why is he disturbing? He's a cannibal. So in the mission campaign, he actually eats human ribs and describes human flesh as being like chicken, but more sentient. He's also known to throw morgue parties, as revealed in GTA 3, even having Tony Cipriani steal the corpses of Avery Carrington and Ned Burner to eat. Okay, so that's a little bit creepy. Our Donald Trump parody real estate mogul in GTA is a cannibal and likes to throw parties where dead people are buried. So that is pretty creepy, very interesting as well. You can understand why he's one of the most disturbing characters in the GTA series. The number 4 spot today, a character you're all familiar with, that is Trevor Phillips. So I definitely had to include Trevor on this list for the things he's done and for the things that we can only speculate. I mean, there's parts in the campaign where Trevor literally describes himself as eating human stew. There's a cutscene where he literally is flushing a human foot down his toilet trying to get rid of it. It's safe to assume that he murdered his brother based on comments that he's made to one of the zombie characters around Vinewood. And there's also a possibility that he murdered his mother as well, based off of a very weird hallucination he has at the end of the game. And obviously, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You guys are well aware of Trevor's psychotic and psychopathic behavior that he displays throughout the game. He's just by far one of the creepiest people ever. He has an attraction to older Mexican women. He abuses his best friends, Ron and Wade. So this guy is one of the creepiest ever. And he definitely needed to make his way onto this list. You probably obviously knew of Trevor, maybe unlike some of the other characters, but I couldn't make a most creepy and disturbing character list in Grand Theft Auto without putting Trevor on this list. He absolutely 100% belongs. Okay, the next character is Kiki Jenkins, who is a dateable character in Grand Theft Auto 4. So a little bit of background on her. She moved to Liberty City. Her parents are notably wealthy, having paid for her apartment, law degree, cars, and clothes. Now, this is actually a girl that Neko Bellic can date in GTA 4. However, she's one of the creepiest people of all time. She is a total stalker. So I'm just going to list a couple of the things that she's done. So Neko needs to be careful when dating Kiki while dating other girlfriends, because after a while, she starts stalking Neko. On rare occasions, Kiki will appear in the cutscenes which precede entering venues when Neko is dating other women. She will shout various things such as threatening to kill Neko's dates and other derogatory terms. Now, if Neko is dating another girlfriend while still dating Kiki and is successfully invited inside for hot coffee, upon returning outside of the other girl's apartment, Neko's car may have been vandalized, pop tires, doors and hood destroyed, etc. And then Neko will receive a text message from Kiki demanding who the other girl is. Now, similarly, if the player calls upon a prostitute while dating Kiki, Neko will receive a call or a text message such as, "Who is she?" This also implies she is stalking Neko. So this is incredibly creepy. I'm sure some of you guys that are watching this video right now have had instances of some very crazy significant others or girlfriends or whatever the case is. And this is definitely the case. This is one you need to hit the abort button on, abandon ship on this girl if she's stalking you like that. Now, obviously, she's stalking for good reason, as the only time she does this is when Neko is going out with other girls. But at the end of the day, it's still one of the creepiest characters ever for what she does to Neko. All right, and the final character we're looking at today is Macker, who is a main character in GTA San Andreas. So he's the lead singer of a rock band called the Gurning Chimps. And he has a very interesting case about him. So because he grew up in a band and he tried to adapt an extreme musical lifestyle, these abuses contributed to a stuttering voice and hypersexuality in the form of compulsive masturbation. So this guy literally can't stop jerking off, and that is apparent throughout the entire campaign where he's seen doing this a ton. However, the nail in the coffin for this guy's creepy behavior is in the final mission when he gleefully states to everyone that he's getting breast implants. That's right, Macker is getting breast implants. Now, after San Andreas, 5 months later, we find out that Macker was banned from Australia and he went into rehab and brought into the Epsilon program. And after spending time in rehab, a long series of legal battles interrupted his career, but as of 2004, he was planning a comeback. But anyways, that right there is the creepiest and most disturbing characters in the Grand Theft Auto series. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. Should I have included anyone else on this list? Should I have added another character? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments section down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.